Well, it's about 3 in the morning, and I'm sorry I hadn't made a video in a long, long time. But I've been busy. Right now I'm doing I finished this as a summer solstice, and it got in my summer herbs. Now I'm working on the fall herbs, and I'm going to talk about uh, uh, Celtic magic, Celtic herbs, uh, pagan religions, just take in the whole sector. And there's not much difference between this book, which is the Bible, and this Celtic book. You see, there's a dragon on the front of it. A dragon, the word means snake. And on the other one is the Druid uh, uh, alphabet, basically. But anyway, I've got a bunch of old recipes in here for stuff. But the Christianity uses a lot of pagan religions to make out, like the worshiping of Jupiter and so on and so forth. They uh, they moved it into the Christian uh, religion. It's the same way with like Christmas. I need a drink. I, I can only talk a few minutes because I got the dogs outside so they won't bother me. They're on the porch. And, but let's see. They used a lot of like Christmas, the Christmas tree. That's Finland. That's old Druid and tree worshippers like the Druids. Druid means tree teacher. They're Celtics. You didn't get a drink, did I? But anyway, let me move you back around so I can see what I'm doing. Uh, they thought Christianity was cannibalism at one time because this is my blood, this is my body, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But the Celtics, they were all over Europe, but their sacred tree was Irish oak in Ireland. And they would collect mistletoe. Uh, they used a mistletoe. It was the only poison that killed. It's deadly poison that kills a god. Loki, you can look it up. Loki killed Briar or something. That was the god that killed. But anyway, back to herbal medicine. That's what I mess with. I'm so tired. I've been up collecting. You collect stuff at the dark of the moon, the light of the moon, the new moon, the crest moon, the change it. You have a let's say if you have a uh, uh, basically a meteorite shower, you have anything significance in the heavens. That's when you collect certain herbs. If the dark of the moon, you want to collect root herbs, and then the light of the moon or the full moon, when it's bright, you collect the leaves and stuff. They worked off the moon, and back to mistletoe. Mistletoe was used for thousands of years as a medicine, and so was hemlock, poison sumac. A whole bunch of poisons were used for certain things. Wolfbane was used to kill wolves and stuff, and they used all these medicines, and they put them in little bitty bottles like this. I got some. I had to get all these sterilized, and I've got a few more to go. Even the larger bottles, they use corks. They use corks, and I use rubber stoppers. But back to mistletoe. They used it for birth control. It's got the same components in it, or something similar to it. It's a morning after pill. But you better know how to use it because it's deadly. But they used it, it contracts the uterus and avoids unwanted births. But you better know what you're doing or you're going to kill the patient, so what the hell was the good of that? Uh, like blood magic. It's even in the Bible. Uh, they had blood magic, sprinkling blood on the ark and stuff like that. It's the most powerful magic there is blood magic, or herbal blood magic, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, this old book that I got, it's got the dragon on it, which is called the snake. And then it's got a whole bunch of stuff on the inside that I'm not going to open tonight because I'm tired. But we'll go into it when I get caught up collecting my Rose of Sharon buds. The petals will make a beautiful syrup. Now you can eat all of the Rose of Sharon, roots, leaves, stalk, the whole thing. But the buds, I like to take and pound them a little bit and open them up a little bit, and then dip them in batter, and then fry them in boiling grease. And they taste like okra. But anyway, back to my magic book, or what do you, herbal book. If you're going to be an herbalist, you need to study for years before you start drifting out, you know. And before you start collecting poisons or whatever to use as medicine, remember your skin is your largest organ. I try that on your skin and see if it gives you a rash or breaks you out or any of that. And if it does, you better watch it. Just be careful with it. But like I said, study for years and years and years. I was brought up collecting herbs, and my mother was an herbalist. I always called her a gypsy witch. It's a hand blown glass. So is this over here. I'll make some honeysuckle wine. This is a hand blown glass. See there? With it busted it off the stick. And but like I said, I'll make some and put it in this decanter that's trimmed with 24 karat gold. But like I said, I'm gonna put that knife back up. I make a lot of salves. See here, I make a lot of tea trees. I make a lot of, and they in the Bible it says that I believe in the Bible, believe in Christianity. This is sad, made with honey. But any more people going back to the natural herbs? Well, that's great, but you better, if you're going to go back to being an herbalist or whatever, or even buying products, make sure that it's like aloe vera lotion. They used it back in the day. It's mentioned in the Bible. The eye salve. If you read that part, most people that's Christian, they know what I'm talking about. But aloe vera drops in the eye. It keeps you having dry eye. It's a antibiotic. It's anaerobic. It's everything. And they dropped it in the eye to clear up pink eye or whatever else they had going on at the time. But like I said, I've been awful busy, and I'm still looking around. This room's getting fuller and fuller. I'm going to have to move to another room. But I said, I know I ain't doing this video justice, but going back to the old ways and these old recipes, I've been saving up the food and everything. I've just been busy. And I do my dehydrating. It's my onions. I run out of onions the other day and had to get into this jar to put some onions in my soup. But like I said, I save these old bottles and I put my tea trees and stuff in it. This old bottle's been chipped up the top, but don't hurt it. I liked it because it was, you know. But making wines, making tea trees, making salves, uh, it's all. They did that in the Bible. Prayer cloth, they did that in the Bible. But they and in even the Celtic religion, that's what I call it. They made prayer cloth and they dipped it in herbs and put it on like poultices and stuff. And they took a lot of the things that were used. Let me see. Let me open it up because I'm gonna look. Okay, the oldest religion and basically was 37,000 years ago. They used herbs. That's about all I needed on that. And but like I said, now you can see the whole back of it. But I will get into this book later. But right now, like I said, your Bible is basically they didn't start putting that out till 6, 7,000, 8,000 years ago. But Celtic magic, herbalists, and no, I consider. Well, at first they considered everything that wasn't the Jewish religion pagan. Even Christianity, they considered it pagan. But now they consider three religions that ain't pagan. That's Christianity, uh, uh, the Muslim faith, and the Jewish faith. They say them three ain't pagan. Well, they use a lot of pagan practices. And, I ain't got time to go into all this, but like I said, because I want to cut it off here, I got to go get my dogs and everything else. And I've already got a whole gallon full of Rose of Sharon to work up tonight before daylight and get that up. But like I said, just using the Rose of Sharon. Stay away from mistletoe if you know what you're doing, or any of the other poisonous plants. But Rose of Sharon, redbud, Oklahoma redbud, you can eat all it. But the Rose of Sharon, like I said, I can make wine out of it, out of the petals. I can make a syrup for your pancakes. Uh, I can make dip it in the flour and cornmeal or whatever, and eat the buds. The leaves when they're fresh and new in the spring. I can make tea out of it. You know. Before I get off here, uh, menstrual cramps. They used. That's why the Celts were all into trees and herbs. Menstrual cramps. Women used to go pick the fresh leaves off of a birch tree and make a birch tea out of it and drink it. It's better than that the pill, what Midol or whatever for cramps. Birch leaf tea is what they use for cramps. I've got to go. I've got to tend to my dogs. I've only got a few minutes to catch up on here before I start working some more stuff and putting it in little bottles and labeling them. But like I said, I just wanted to check in with you. And I think I hear them on the porch. They're whining. They want to come back in. It's been about 15 minutes. That's about the length of their stay. But I will talk to you later, and when I get caught up, we'll go over the Bible and the similarities with the old Druid herbalist book. That's what I'm gonna call it. I ain't gonna call it a Jewish a Bible. I mean, not a Jewish Bible, but a Druid Bible. Because Jews were teachers. They had no written language. They didn't write. The Celts wrote a bunch of stuff down, but the Druids never wrote anything. Just like Jesus, he never wrote anything down. His disciples did. But I've got to go, and I wish I had time. Should have it live and go in 2 or 3 hours, but I'm not. I'm getting any younger, so I ain't going into that. I gotta check where's my vanilla? Oh, here we go. I gotta shake it. I hadn't shook it in a month, but I was faithful every day. Uh, I'll label it. See, I label myself. Uh, I made. Here is some honey wine. They call it mead. I made that back in April of 24. Boy, I can get this stopper out of it. I don't drink any wines. I cook with them. Oh, that smells so damn sweet and alcoholic. I mean, it's strong. I push it down a little bit. But I think I went into some stuff. I got a bunch of tea trees. Here's jewelweed. It kills poison ivy and poison oak if it gets on your skin. I gotta put that back in the herbal stuff because everything's dying off. But anyway, I've been busy collecting herbs and other things and canning, and I missed my opportunity to get some lamb's quarter. It didn't do good this year. It was too dry. Yeah, I could have got it in the spring. I did get a lot of poke salad. Canned, put up, dried. I dried a lot of leaves. I use it like you lose dried parsley and stuff. And they did use some of these deadly poisons, like 1 drop per 20 gallons. It like a puffer fish, makes it tingling on your tongue. It wasn't enough to too much of it was bad, but they just used a tiny bit of it, and they'd only use it in just small amounts of food, and it gave you the puffer taste, basically like puffer fish. But it was only practiced and used by people who have done that for years and years and years. Like I said, I've got to make some more wine up. I've got my wine jugs ready. Like I said, I've been putting stuff up, and writing a bunch of stuff down in my personal journal. One of these days we'll get into that. But like I said, I've been busy. And I'm going to let you go. I've got to get this stuff put up, and my counter's full of stuff and everything else, and I want to get it all put up before daylight comes. And that's another thing. If you're collecting by the light of the moon and the moon seasons, they'd be like 13 zodiacs instead of 12. But anyway, you got to get it all put up for daylight. And if daylight beats you, you throw the rest of it away. And according to the old Celtic Druid book. And I'm staying exactly with what it says. I've got to go. Take care of yourself. And I got to get my dogs in off porch. Bye-bye.